our OAXRay course. It is going to be an extremely fun evening. So if you guys would take some time to go ahead and introduce yourself in the group chat. We're going to have a lot of fun here, and we're going to do some OAXRay. So we're going to give everybody 3-4 minutes, and thank you, Jordan, for all of your help today. And what we're going to do is introduce yourself. You guys will hear a little bit from me, and then we'll get into demoing and getting everything set up in regards to OAXRay. So we'll wait a few more minutes here because I know that people tend to not be on time. That tends to be kind of the general theme with people altogether. So while we're sitting here waiting, if you guys want to start chatting it up in the chat box, we'll take a look at those and see what's going on. You can also ask questions via GoToWebinar, so feel free to do that. And I'm going to announce it to you guys first so you guys know. We're going to do 4 of these sessions. So we got today, next week, every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And what we're going to be doing is going through OAXRay. So we're going to take everything from the beginning to the process of finding items to Tyler, one of the panelists who's on here today, is going to be actually doing a session with us in 2 weeks about outside the box thinking when it comes to OAXRay. He's kind of my resident expert with thinking outside of the box. So he's going to join us, and then we actually have Todd from OAXRay coming in the last week, where we're going to go over where they're at right now, where they're going in the future, kind of all of that mixed together. But I was just in a chat with the guys from OAXRay, and here's the deal. They've decided if you guys attend all 4 sessions, we're going to get a report of everyone who attended these sessions, and if you attend every single session for the month, you'll be put in a drawing to receive 1 month free. You're hearing this right. I'll announce it again a little bit later. But 1 month free, 10 hours a week of a VA helping you with OAXRay finds. So while you're getting started out, not only do you get a 10-day free trial of OAXRay, if you attend all 4 sessions every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, and I'll give you guys a pass. And some of you are going to watch this recorded. I will make it if you attend the last 3. If you attend every one of those and are an OAXRay subscriber, we are going to put you in a drawing for 10 hours a week for a month of getting some free actual VA help to help you source and find items. So it is 8:03. It is time to get going. You guys are going to see me share my screen now. If we could get some confirmation that everyone can see my screen, that would be awesome. So you can do that via the chat feature or the question feature. Please let me know that you can see it. I think everyone can. And we will get started here and get going. Let's see. Show my screen. I think we're good to go now. We'll go ahead and move this over. So in today's class, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on what in the heck is OAXRay? How do you even use it? How do you get it set up? How do you start everything? And then how do you kind of find your first deal? That's kind of the whole series of this first class. And if you already use OAXRay, you may want to make sure we have everything set up correctly. I'm going to kind of go through everything as if you were the first-time user of this software. And what we're going to do with this is get you from install to finding your first deal tonight, okay? And like I said, this is being recorded. You can go in and view this again, so don't feel like you have to sit there and take dedicated notes for everything. But where I'm going to point you right now, if you guys want to follow along, and the first thing I want to note is that with this course, it is 4 weeks live. It's free. There's actually, you don't have to have OAXRay to do this course. What you're going to find later in today's session and in the last 3 sessions, what we're going to show is kind of the techniques of online arbitrage. It's going to be how to do things using OAXRay. But the theories we're teaching, or the path to finding the items, can be done old school or kind of through the trial and error method, or could be done using OAXRay. We're going to showcase OAXRay, but I'll always start off with showing the old school method so that you guys can see how that operates, and then bring you into the OAXRay method to see how that can actually speed you up. So if you are not a user of OAXRay, that is completely fine. but I'm going to show you how you can get a free 10-day trial, which will actually get you through this week, next week, and give you 3 days to trial it. Completely free. You give your credit card stuff. You can cancel if you don't start finding deals. My recommendation would be to start with it, give it the 10-day trial, see how it goes. If you are kind of hesitant that you really just want to kind of watch this and then get into the real meat of the course before you start doing it, I would wait until next week to sign up. I'm not going to push you guys either way. It doesn't really matter to me. If you use it, great. If not, great. But if you want to do it next week, you'll get 10 days. You'll cover next week's course, the course after that, which covers all of our expansive deal finding pieces. But we also at FBA Master offer a money-back guarantee with OAXRay. So if you guys love it and you guys can't find deals, we will help you personally through it. So just keep that in mind. So let's show you guys where you can get the free trial if you want to start. Where you can go, if you go to fbamaster.com, you'll see that up top here. The top blog post we have is OAXRay's in the house. So you can actually click on this post, and when you click on this post, there will be a free trial button. See, get the 10-day free trial right here. We actually talked to the guys from OAXRay, really great guys, Tedrick and Todd, and they decided to give a 10-day free trial instead of the typical 6-day free trial, just for this course period. So you guys can actually sign up right here. You scroll down, you'll see we have some information here. If you guys want to see our guarantee with everything and read a little bit more, the little button here that has the OAXRay logo, it'll actually take you to this page where you can get your free 10-day trial. You can get that here as well, and that'll actually get you started with OAXRay. Now, let's go to OAXRay.com to explain what in the heck you're even looking at here, because I know some of you have never used this, some of you are just starting out, and I think, Jordan, if we can go ahead and launch one of those polls that we have, I'm not sure exactly how to do this, but if we can look at the poll that says what kind of sourcing everyone does. I know, there you go, look at that, boom. It's like we were asking for it on demand. So if you guys would take a moment to actually go in and click the buttons of what you currently sourcing methods do you use. Do you use retail arbitrage? Do you do OA? Are you guys a private labeler? Oh, look, I have a guy asking me for tickets. This is fantastic. It just kind of happens. We should probably mute that, but Dean, I'm not getting your tickets right now. Do you do wholesale? Do you do other types of things? So if you guys would take a moment to answer this right now, this is going to give us a little bit of an insight into where we are at in terms of sourcing. So we'll give you guys just a few more seconds here, and then we will get into seeing what the results are.
Hey, Chris, real quick while you're doing that, a couple people are asking in the questions, I only see the chat enabled, or I don't see the chat enabled, I only see the questions. The questions is the best place to ask your questions, whatever things you want to ask Chris. Go ahead and type those in there. This is Jordan, by the way. I'll be monitoring those and answer as much as I can, and I'll pop those up for Chris to answer as he's going along as well.
Okay. And then, just so everyone knows, Jordan is the reason that 150 of you, in addition to what we have, are on this evening. Jordan has actually volunteered his GoToWebinar to host this with us for the entire month of May. So you guys will, he's in our Facebook group, but please just give Jordan a big thank you because he has volunteered his time and his resources to make sure that all of us can actually interact and not have to be restricted to 50 people. So thank you again, Jordan.
Yeah, no problem. I'm totally happy to do it. Just want to give back as much as I've gotten. So thank you to everybody for all of that, but I appreciate it. So yeah, just type your questions in. I'll monitor those and answer them as much as I can. One question though, Chris, that maybe you can answer real quick is some people are asking how much is OAXRay per month? If you want to talk about that, that was one of the things that a couple people asked.
Awesome. So OAXRay runs at $99 a month, and you get your free 10-day trial. So here's the way I like to look at it. If you are spending more than $1,000, we'll ask that question a little bit later here with the polls, on online arbitrage, OAXRay will save you enough time that it makes it an easy investment for you to use. If you're not up to that yet, the way that I like to look at it is use the free 10-day trial to make enough to pay for your first month. Then every 3 days after you get your subscription, use it to focus on making enough to cover that, and then use it to make past there. But it is $99 a month. You can cancel anytime. And I'll be just 100% honest with you. The reason we show the OAXRay page is we do get a little bit of a commission off of you using OAXRay. We want to train you how to use it. If you don't want to use it, that's fine. There's a lot of great softwares out there. I know we've heard some people talk about tactical arbitrage, OAXRay. Some people like to do it old school or do it through lists. This is not an end-all be-all. Do not feel like you need to go and in order to be successful, use OAXRay. That is not what this is about. What this is about is to show the techniques behind using it so that you can translate that to using the software and or doing it yourself in another format. So $99 a month if you're just starting out, great. You may not want to do it yet, but there will be times where you want to speed up that sourcing, and that'll be the case. Jordan, can we see the poll results by chance? Okay, thank you very much. So we're sitting at 83% of you do retail arbitrage, 73% of you are OA, 15% of you are private label, we got 22% in wholesale. Now I'm really curious what that other is. I'm not sure if you're like stealing stuff from places or what you're doing, but that is awesome. Yeah, I don't know, Tyler. Whatever the heck they're doing.
Garage sales, although there is, grand theft arbitrage with the 5-finger discount, but.
So just so you guys are aware, my good friend and actually one of our fellow FBA masters is on this, Tyler Nelson. He's going to be a real big part of our presentation in 2 weeks from now. So if you do hear a random voice that comes in, it's Tyler. He's pretty much a genius when it comes to using OAXRay, and we're going to use him for a lot of stuff in this course. So now that we know where you guys sit, a lot of you use retail arbitrage. Looks like the majority of you are in OA. Let me show you kind of a little background of OAXRay. So what was designed from OX? Let me give you a little background of Tedrick and Todd, the minds behind this. So back in the day, Tedrick and Todd used to work for Chris Green in their Bolo exchange on ScanPower. And these guys were in charge of posting multiple deal finds a day. They had a set limit of what they were doing. And they would go through and they would find these deals. So these guys were basically for 2 years extremely highly trained online arbitrage people. And then kind of that group fell apart. The whole kind of methodology of it was great, but there wasn't a sustained audience for it. So these guys ended up going their separate ways, and then they decided to get together. And Tedrick and Todd, I've met with both of them, and they're both fantastic guys. And what they decided to do was to build a system that would actually take what they knew of how they did online arbitrage and turn it into something that was extremely easy. So, thus, OAXRay was born. So, let me give you an example of what the heck it does before we go down the list of the stores that it's in and how to install it. One thing you could do, and I do not recommend this is just for examples, okay, guys? We'll go into the techniques next week of where you need to look on a store and how you can actually start combining things and making deals. But essentially what you do is you pull up a page that has product names and prices. And there's this little magic button right here that you press. And what it starts to do is it starts to pull in all of the information from the Walmart page, all of the information from the Amazon page, and starts comparing everything. But not only does it just do that for the store you're looking at, it actually takes those items and moves it across all of the stores that they have indexed within their site. So I was on Walmart, but I'm getting prices from Kmart, eBay, Bonton, Farmland Fleet, Bed & Bath, and I'm able to see the lowest overall price here. So in the past, here's how we had to go through online arbitrage. I go, oh, look, a duck. I click the duck. And it would pull up this page, and I go, oh, the duck is $44.95. So I would highlight this right here. I would hit Command-C or copy. I would go over to Amazon. I would go in here, I would search for the duck, and I'd go, oh, look, there's the duck. And I'd have to go back and go, well, he's a 1-gallon humidifier. Let's look here. Well, this is a 2.1 gallon. Maybe that's the guy. Maybe it's a 2.1 output. So I'd have to go through here and 1-gallon removable tank. Okay, so that's my duck, dude. Let's look here back at Walmart. It's not looking great. I would have to go through and do my FBA calculator if it was there, and it would take me 5 minutes to do each find. So what OAXRay was designed to do was to pull all this information for you and to show you really quickly with the selection of colors and or the numbers as well, what deals were great and which were not. So what it would allow you to do would allow you to look here and look at green and go, oh, well, this sofa right now, and now granted this is a really bad example. Please do not go purchase this. This is just for show. We'll get into the techniques a little later. But we'll see that Walmart here, as soon as it loads, is selling this Sandhill 7-piece outdoor sofa sectional set for $549. It's showing me that Amazon is selling it for $710. If you look at OAXRay, we'd have to put in the weight, and it would really start messing with it here. But we'd be able to see that there could be money made off of the buying and selling of this, okay? So with that being said, we could glance down through here quickly, and in a matter of what would take us, there are 43 items times 5 minutes an item, over 200 minutes, so over 2.5 hours to go through a page if we were being really slow about it. We're able to take a really quick look and go, oh, well, out of a few of these items here, there's only one I even want to take a look at. It takes that manual labor bit out. And there's some great tools that will show you with it, like you can hit, I want to see everything that has a positive ROI. And all of a sudden, I'm able to see the 4, 8, 10 items, 9 items here that have a positive return on investment. And then you'll see that some of them are small. You'll see that I imagine this eBay is mislabeled, which stuff happens like that. But you can look here and start seeing revenue streams and go here, okay, well, wait a second. What about this gallon bucket? Okay, let's take a look at it. I could say, oh, well, we don't want this thing. But I'm looking here, and there's a green bucket that's selling for $11.46. Oh, wait, a green bucket, but it has shipping. So you can start doing a real quick look at all of this stuff, and I'm going to warn you guys right now, my wife's about to walk in the door, and she will be extremely loud when she walks in because she has no idea I'm doing this in the kitchen. So if you guys hear that, I completely apologize. But when we go back to the OAXRay, what we have done with this is set it up and went, oh my lord, well, I can take a look at this, and it saves me all the time of looking at the non-winners. So what I want to show you, well, let's go to OAXRay.com, and like I said, if you guys want to purchase it through them, great. If not, great. But if you do ask, we do get a slight commission through our page. Fine. If not, that's the last time you'll hear me say that through this entire course. But you guys can actually see what sites they support here. And you'll start seeing, well, they're getting into the UK. There are 54 sites in the US, and they're in Canada as well. You can scroll down through here and see they're at 6 p.m., Abe Books, Barnes & Noble, Bass Pro Shops. They're working on Bass Pro Shops right now. And they're even showcasing the deals that are happening so that you can even make more money off of this stuff. You'll see they have the Disney store that is pulled through here. They have Gander Mountain, Hot Topic, Jet, Kmart, Kohl's, Lowe's, Macy's, Sierra Trading Post, Sears, Staples, Target, ThinkGeek, Toys R Us, Walgreens, Walmart, Vitacost, Vitamin Shop, LTD Commodities, Lord & Taylor, Home Depot. They cover the wide array of different options so that you can take a look at these sites, and at a moment's notice, you're able to go in and say, I want to look at the Hasbro toy shop. And I'm able to go on here, and I'm able to go, well, and look at Nerf guns. And all of a sudden, without having to take all of that extra effort, I'm able to hit the OAXRay button here, and it's able to start looking for all of these items on Amazon immediately. It's able to, with a glance, tell me if there's even any profit to be made off of these pages. And it has taken what I used to spend like 20, 30 hours a week off at work working on. It's taken that and made it something I can do in 5 hours, 1 hour a day. Or if you really want to get a little fancy with it, you can see, I told you my wife would come in jamming the music. Sorry. She says sorry, it's okay. Do you need help, Ed?
Hi, Mrs. Wilkey.
Tyler, the guy with the cat shirt, says hi.
I love his shirt.
He says she loves your shirt. But,
Kidding.
yeah, if you guys don't know, my lovely wife Lindsay is here. She's been working her butt off today. And
That's the name of that account you're using?
Yeah, you'll see on Amazon I'm using Lindsay's account. That's my great example of where to use everything at. But as we go back to OAXRay here, you'll see that we pull in ranks, we pull in percentages, we pull in net profit, ASIN numbers, quantities, and it's giving me that ability to take what would take 20 hours and turn it into 5 hours. And that has really saved me a lot of time overall. Not that it has to save you guys time. You can still do it the old way. And I recommend that to get started, because if you don't understand how to do it the old way, then this makes no sense for you. But when you sign up for OAXRay, maybe it's through this link, maybe it's through something else, you're going to get a link that says, hey, I want to set up, here's a Google Chrome extension that you can use, and it is OAXRay. So you'll see that when you right-click on it, you have OAXRay, you have options, remove from Chrome, manage extensions. We'll go into options here, okay? So, do not, we will blur that out. Let's go ahead and erase that right now. You guys caught it, sorry, but that's fine. Here are the options we have. You will put your key that you are given right here and hit save. You will have the option of opening it up in one pop-up, where you send that and it open everything underneath that. The OAXRay Lite is something they're working on. You can say that we want to use used FBA prices. You can see precise use prices. You'll have to use your Amazon credentials for that. If you want to use one of their cool features called Try Guess ASIN numbers, I'll actually show you guys that next week. But what you're able to do is go, I want to look at Amazon.com. I want my text to be this color, my links to be this color. I want my ROI to show in this, positive here. If it's not available, show it this way. If it is no match, let's make it yellow. Let's have some little fun with that here. Yellow's fun, right? So let me put that in. And then if you're hovering over something, it will change colors as well. These give you that visual representation of what you can see on OAXRay when you're sourcing. So it's really simple setup. Once you have it in, you have this little button that's up here, and you can go to any of their supported sites and search any search rankings or any search results. So say I want to look up grocery. I search that, and it's going to pull up a grocery search result page. And what I'm able to do is I'm able to click the button, and it's going to start pulling in all of the titles from that page and start doing the comparison for me. So it makes my life really easy and smooth sailing. So a few things I want to stop and take a moment before we go into the actual intricacies of what you're seeing here and what the abilities are. The first question I have to ask is, how many current people do we have using OAXRay? I know we have a poll ready for this, but I want to know if you are currently using OAXRay or not. So take a few moments here and respond. I'm just curious to see how many people are actually using it before we go into a breakdown of, okay, well, here's where this button is, here's where this button is. And while you guys are looking here, we'll see we found our first deal of the night. I'm able to see that I can buy, let's see, this is a mix match. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this one. We'll keep on moving through. Let's see, it's a bar here. Symphony bar. There's our first deal of the night. So we'll do that. Right now you can't send chocolates in anyway, but we can see that we can make a 106% return on some Hershey's Symphony chocolates. So let's go ahead and close that poll and see our results of how many people actually currently use OAXRay. Okay, so 34% of you said yes, 66% of you said no. So I want to welcome you guys into the world of, oh, this looks cool, and then we're going to actually show you how to use it. So we're going to go to our last poll question for the evening here, and it is, how much do you guys typically spend or how much do you actually sell in sales volume in a month? So we have the less than $1,000. So this is typically for those people who are just getting started with Amazon selling, maybe selling for the first 6 months at this point. Sales volume around 1,000 to 3,000 means you're starting to get a hang of it, but you're not quite there yet. And then we got the 3,000 to 8,000 range, kind of my seasoned professionals that are there. And then we have our 8,000 range who kind of use tools already like this to start finding items and are kind of just getting a little preview of what we're seeing here. So I'll give you guys a few more seconds here, and as we're answering this question, let me explain one more thing that we were talking about at the start of the presentation. The start of the presentation, I mentioned that if you attend this session and the next 3 sessions, and you attend every one that we have in this course, the guys from OAXRay have volunteered to give out 10 hours a week for a month, so 40 hours total of a VA to help with online sourcing. And you get that VA to help you with everything. You can kind of say, hey, I want this, hey, I want that. And that is a thing to incentivize you to join these sessions for the training. So Jordan, can we see the results of that poll that we just had? Okay, so it looks like we're pretty across the board here. We have people who are just starting out. We have people who are kind of in the middle, and we do have a pretty good amount of people who are the 8,000 plus range, which this is kind of fun because usually we don't get this spread when we do these kind of webinars. Usually we're very focused on a new seller or an advanced seller, and it's great to have that kind of spread between the people here. So thank you for that poll there, Jordan. I appreciate that. And let's go back to a walkthrough of the features of OAXRay, because that's kind of what this first night's about. We're really focused on showing you guys what we have here so that you understand. So let's break this down into a very easy to understand fashion. We have the title here. This is going to pull in the title of the product that is on the store you are looking at. And then we have the title of the product that is going to be on Amazon. What these are going to try to do, and you'll see sometimes they mismatch, it's all about where the code tells the items that are at. So sometimes we'll try to see, okay, we have Nestle assorted miniatures, Nestle assorted miniatures. Sometimes these items will really match between those two. But what it's doing is it's pulling in both of the titles, and then this next row it's pulling in the Amazon price. So you'll see here it's going, well, I don't have a title here, I don't have a title here, maybe this is a match. And it's not going to show you the price because it doesn't know what the item is. But when we look at the Hershey assortment of miniatures here, you're going to see that it shows us, if we hover over this, the Kiva chart, which makes life really easy here. We're able to see that, okay, at this price, Amazon's been in stock for 4 months here, and you can see that they went out of stock a little bit. The next column you're going to see is a low FBA price, which will show you the lowest FBA side of it in case there's a merchant-fulfilled seller on there who is artificially lowering that price. And then what you're going to see is the main stores. So we have Walmart, Target, Kmart, Jet, Walgreens, Meijer, Vitamin Shop, Rite Aid, Farm and Fleet, and Staples. Now there are over 52 sites they have supported through OAXRay, but it's going to pull in the most commonly shopped. So you're going to start seeing the prices pop up for all of these stores. So we'll look here that at this mini-sized pack of 2, we can look here and it's showing us Jet has a product that's a little lower. Now it may not be an exact match, but if we look here on the Symphony bars, we're going to see that Walmart has this at $2.10. This looks like Meijer has it at $2.19, and then Farm and Fleet also carries this at $2.19. These rows are able to tell us where we're able to get a lower price at. Now, this last row here, the lowest overall row, is going to tell you exactly where what the lowest priced is. So it's going to compare all of these rows together and show which of them are the lowest. So you compare this number to what these are, and all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, well, I can find my lowest price here. Now the next row is going to show you the sales rank. And when we look at the sales rank, this is at the moment in time that you're scanning it. So these sales ranks are going to vary. You could have a really low sales rank at one moment. You could have a really high one a little bit later. We're not going to get into the exact parameters in this course of what makes a good or a bad find. That's stuff you have to decide yourself. I'll show you guys what I use, but please determine that on your own doing, because using mine may not be perfect for the way you guys do business. But sales rank is going to show you what it is, and then you're going to also look over here and we're going to see the category. So I'm going to see this is an 8,475 sales rank in health and beauty. Makes it pretty nice for us. You're going to see that it shows us a 1,341 rank in grocery. You can scroll down through here and quickly glance and see what the rank is in those categories, which saves a lot of time as we look at it all together. Because originally I'd have to go to the Amazon page and I have to find an item. So maybe it's a shirt here, and I don't know why this is even on here, but we'll go here. We'll scroll down and we'll see that I'm laughing at some of the descriptions here. You see it's 9,100 and some in clothing. I'd have to go through all of that, and here I can take a look at a glance and see, oh, well, this is 12,000 in toy, which makes life really easy for me. You also see the ROI bit. So what the ROI is doing is it's going to take your total selling cost of Amazon minus your fees of what you'd be paying, and then subtracting your cost of goods in these rows. So in this one, you'll see you have a $17 bit here. So we can buy it for $10.99. And if you do all of the math, which it's going to do automatically for you, you can make 1.07%.
A whopping 12 cents.
Oh, I know, a whopping 12 cents. And that's what gets us to the next row of net profit here. And I know this is a really bad example. And net profit over here is going to show you the actual dollar amount you're expected to make off of buying and reselling that at those current prices. We're going to have the ASIN number, the ASIN number, which gives you the ASIN so you can look up that item directly on Amazon. So this is kind of Amazon's identification number. You can go through and pull that and do some analysis on that. We have the category, which is which one it's in. All of these are going to be toys. We pulled this from Hasbro, so that's to be expected. The next row is oversized. What this does is tell you if the item is oversized in relation to what Amazon's specifications are for an oversized item on measurements. So if you don't like to deal with really big items, you may not want to see a bunch of OSs, which mean oversized. The next thing you're going to see here is the weight. It's pulling this information straight from, you can see if I click on it, it's going to sort everything for me. What the weight's going to do is going to tell me based upon Amazon's weight that is listed on a page, it's going to pull that stuff in and say this is going to weigh 1.25 pounds to ship. And we'll get into the per pound fee up here that we can use, but this is where it's pulling that information in. The next bit is the actual fee. And what the actual fee does is it tells you based upon the current selling price and Amazon's fee structure, what that's going to cost you in terms of FBA fees. So if you're an FBA seller, you can look here and go, oh, this item is going to cost $5 for me to sell. That's why this number is so much lower, because of the fee structure that is here. Now the next one we're going to look at is quantity. This is going to tell you how many units go into the price that is listed on Amazon. So if we take a look over here, you're going to see this Mars chocolate bag. See, this is a pack of 2. If we scroll over, we're going to see that we have a quantity of 2. What this is saying that we need 2 of the stuff listed in the middle to match what this price is. It gives us a quantity value with that. Now, if there is a mismatch, you can check this, and I'll actually go into a review process for you guys to look at it. But then we get the next row is the price, rank, and history. So for a given item like this one, I'm able to click the Keepa button, and it's taking me straight to Keepa to give me the analysis of the item and show me if it's in stock, if it goes in and out, what the sales rank is. You can do that with a glance here. We can also see this camel button. So it's going to pull this up. If there's no ASIN, which is like the one I clicked there, let's pick the one that has an ASIN. We're going to see that it's going to pull up the exact listing and give us the sales rank history or the price rank or the price history here. If you're a Scan Power user, you can actually do the Scan Power button and it'll pull it up and it's an evaluate feature. And if you like a buy list, so what this buy list does, it says, hey, I want to buy this. Check that. Check this. And that gets us to this buy list, which actually will collect everything that you guys click and say, hey, here's what you have. We're on this buy list. The only other feature here is the refresh button, which will pull in new data. You're going to see that, oh, here's a great deal for you guys. We're sitting here. The Disneyland, let's see, it's a Disneyland plate, I believe. 60th anniversary plates right here. Then we have the plate on the Disneyland or Disney website. These look exactly the same. They were the same the other day when we were going through it. But you can see it's sold out, so this deal is no longer valid. So you have that, and you can look through those items. Now, if we go back to the main tab here and take a look at all of these, we have a button that says Reset Columns. So if you go along here and say, I want to hide the jet column, I can actually hide it. If I want to reset that, I can hit Reset, and it's going to bring it back. Now, if I only want to see the positive ROI of the items that are on here, what I need to click is the positive ROI button. It's going to remove anything that doesn't have a match or has a negative ROI, and what it's going to do is only show me those that are in green because that is my color preference with this. So I can reset the columns, it's going to pull back everything, and I can show all listings here, and it's going to pull back all of those listings. Now the No Match Found, this is a great tool, and we're going to show this next week and the week after that, of the items that have no matches. So you can click here and say, okay, what the heck is this? I can take a look, and it's going to pull up this page, and my wife's throwing crap at me now. You can take a look at all of this stuff. And then you can go back to show all listings. Now, if you want to know the items that are no longer available on Amazon, you can hit currently unavailable. It's going to say Amazon doesn't have any sellers of this item right now, and you should take a look at it and see if you maybe want to sell this. So if we click on this, you're going to see that there's no one selling this. They have available sellers, but they're a little overpriced as normal. And you can go in here and take a look at that factor of it. We're also able, if we hit Show Listings again, you can click My Buys, which is going to take a look at all of these parameters that we've set here and only show you those items. So if I say I want a rank of 150,000 or less with a return of 30% or more and a net profit of $1, I can hit My Buys, and it's going to show me everything that hits my parameters. Okay. Now, discount, what that allows us to do, and we'll go into more detail with this in a later class, is I can say, well, I found that I can get a 30% discount on everything. I put that in, I'm able to click My Buys, and you'll see it'll repopulate with those items and adjust my return on investment and my net profit based upon this discount. Now, if you have a per item fee, like I pay $1 for prep fees to a certain company, I'm able to input that here, and per unit it's going to charge me that fee, and it's going to account for that while we're going through this. The per pound fee, so say it cost me 50 cents to ship everything to Amazon. Sorry, I had a hiccup there. What I'm able to do is put that in here. It's going to start accounting for the weight of the item, and it's going to start doing the math to pull that out based upon the per pound fee, which is very nice. If I only want to show merchant fulfilled items, I can click that button and it'll show me the lowest merchant fulfilled price. If I only want to compare to the store I'm on, so I only want to look at Walmart, I can say compare to current store. And it's only going to pull in the prices from Walmart for me. So I'm going to check that, and it'll show me all of them. Now, if I want to export this list out to an Excel document, I can hit Export Current CSV, and it's going to do that. Now I can also go to Buy List, and I can say Clear My Buy List, and it's going to make sure I'm sure about it, and it's going to remove that. So those are the basic features you're going to see up top here. Now, they get into some more complex features here where it allows you to upload a CSV file. So say you have something that has the ASIN number or the UPC code or the titles in it. You can actually upload that in here and hit go, and it'll run the analysis on your list. So this is great if you have a bunch of replen items or items that you're currently sourcing. You can actually upload those into OAXRay and find the lowest price place to source those items from. The next one is AZ to AZ deals. So I can go in here and say I want to see hoodies, and it's going to show me this, and I can search, and it's going to pull in all of the hoodies for that initial thing. But it's going to show me in terms of Keepa charts. Okay, so what I'd be looking for is I would go, okay, I'm looking for something that had a dramatic drop. I mean, this is, we're not going to get into big detail with this, but you'll see here everything was sitting at about $12. We had a drop to about 10. What you're able to do is you're able to pull the data about this. You can see there's the sales, low FBA, and the Amazon price. Then I can even click on the ASIN number, or the ASIN, and it's going to pull up that exact item for me. So if you are one who likes to do AZ to AZ flips, this pulls in the Keepa charts based upon the keyword that you put in, and I can say I want 6 pages of these. And it's going to literally pull in all of those. I can actually copy my URL and paste it in here so I can take a look at all of that information. So you're going to see it pop in here, and I can scroll down and look at every one of these charts with a glance. And if you have read some of our articles about how these charts are supposed to look, if you see an AZ to AZ flip, we can easily see if an item has a severe drop or not. So that is a nice little tool they have in here. I think it has really changed the way I operate for Amazon to Amazon flips, just my personal opinion. And then the variation analysis. So let's go to, let me find this, and let's pull in the ASIN number here. See, it's the B000. I can say, hey, it's this, and it cost me $4. Let's check it. Of course, it's not going to work on me. There we go. And it's going to pull in the ASINs that are around this and show, okay, well, here are all the different sizes and colors, and we can see the fees and the ranks of all of these, which are going to fall under the same, but at least gives you a visualization of the variations that are involved with a given item. So you'll see that some variations actually have a positive ROI. So I can see that if I could find a small black hoodie at the price that I put in, you can actually make money. So instead of going through every individual item, you're actually able to narrow it down to which of the variations are actually profitable. So that's a basic run-through, and I know I went kind of fast through that, but we only have an hour, and I want to leave about 15 minutes for questions here. But that's a basic run-through of OAXRay. I mean, it's going to show you, it's a pretty easy tool. You go to a page, you say run, it's going to do the analysis for you, and then you're responsible for going a little bit further and making sure it's a good purchase or not, and then pull the trigger on those purchases. Now, in the later courses, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to include a discount code in here and where to find those items at, how to source from places like eBay or other online stores, how to pull all that together and to really be able to utilize this tool and leverage it to a point where you can actually make money from it. Because you sit here and look at it at $99 a month, unless you can find some serious deals, which is the way I like to look at it, if I can find 5 deals that bring me in $20 a piece, I've covered my costs. So if I can spend all of that time with this and be able to find 5 deals, cost covered, if I'm able to find 10, I'm able to double my money into the software. So that's the way I look at it, but this course is designed to show you the tool, then show you the methods to find the tool, and then take you to one step further of the outside-the-box areas where you can take this tool and really leverage it, and then the last course is going to show you where this tool is going in the future. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it up to questions. The best way to do it is to submit it through the question feature here, and looks like we have 2 right now. But feel free to add in the questions as we go here, and I'll actually address those. We've got about 15 minutes of live Q&A right now. It's one of the cool parts of being in a live course. So I will go in and start answering these questions. and see what we have. So we have Pamela's asked, can I get the free trial again? I used the free trial and paid for a month, but I really didn't know how to use it at that time. Well, that is something we have to talk to Tedrick and Todd about. I'm not 100% sure on that question, but I can ask them and see how that goes. So the next question is, how many people are currently using OAXRay? Now, I cannot give out exact numbers on that, but there are a lot of people using it, but there are still a ton of stores to be used this on. So a lot of people like to think of this as the more stores we add on, which OAXRay is constantly adding on new stores, the more opportunities there are for online arbitrage. People are going to go to your main stores, Walmart, Target, Meijer, Kmart. These are where people typically source at. You're going to find a lot of competition when we go to those stores. When we go into the next courses or the next sessions, what we're going to show is how to get out of that rut of what everybody else does and actually make it something that can turn it into money for you, because there's only so much time people have to look at this. You can look at something and be able to take cash back, gift cards, find a deal that's in stock at that time, and you may be able to make money off of it. 4 hours later, I may look at the same exact item and not be able to make any money off of that. So it really depends on timing, knowledge of how to use the software, and how to turn it into from just, oh, I looked on the clearance page from a big box store, to I was able to drill down in a niche and find 4 items that no one else in their right mind is going to take a look at in the next 3 months to 6 months. The next person asked, Joe, if they win the prize, will the VA show me how to source with OAXRay? No, that's my job. I'm supposed to show you with that, but the VA, if you do happen to win that prize, will actually do the sourcing for you using OAXRay. Okay, the next question is, so what is the ROI that I set as my minimum? Mine is 30%. I like to start there. It pulls in everything. And I find that typically my discounts are between 10 to 30% on any given item. So I like to start with 30, and then I'll add the discounts in to go from there. Let's see here. Will this work on Old Gumroad List? The answer is yes, Mary. It will work on Old Gumroad List. This is a great way for you to upload those lists with the ASIN numbers that are already presented, and to do an analysis to see, instead of clicking through each and every one of them, to take a look to see if this is worth your while to go source again. Next question is from Mark. Can you put up your display the list of the main stores? I said there are 52 stores. You got it. So we'll go to OAXRay here. Let me find it again. OAXRay. The full list of stores, you can go to OAXRay. At the top, you will see that we have supported sites. So it is oaxray.com/sites. And you'll see that it has 58 sites fully supported, 16 partially supported, and 74 total with a percentage on what's going on, if it's fully or not supported. So you can go to OAXRay sites and go from there. Let's see. The next question is, can this be a profitable model if I'm sending to a prep center? The answer is yes, and that is one of the tools I like to use here, is the per unit fee. So the prep center I use, Simple Price Prep with Dustin Buchanan. He gives a $1 fee per item. It's a flat rate. So that's what I like to use here. And that'll actually give me those numbers so I can make sure before I pull the trigger that I'm actually making money, even if I'm using a prep center. So Kim wants to know, under the title it says variance is clickable. Let me click on one of those and let me show you what happens here. So you see variance, and what that's going to do is it's going to pull us over to the variation analysis, and it's going to show us those. So you are correct with that. I apologize for not showing that button, but that is what that button does. Okay, is there currently a filter that says if there's a hazmat item? Currently there is not. What we recommend is that you actually go into Amazon Seller Central before you buy anything and attempt to list it. If you cannot list it there, you're not going to be able to list it later, so do not make the purchase.
You can also use just the normal seller app. Put in the ASIN.
Seller app is great as well.
Because that notification there, it saved my bacon more than once. Because I thought, oh, this is a toy, and apparently some Amazon bot or something was like, this is hazmat. We need the MSDS. I'm like, it's not worth my time, so I'm not going to buy it.
Thank you, Tyler, for that. That's very good advice on that. Always, 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 always try to list something before you purchase it. So we have another question here from AZ360 Edge. If it's pertinent, if not, later on, can you comment on how to analyze shoes or clothing when there's no sales ranks? I will do that in a later session. I appreciate the question. It's very good. That's just not in this session. We'll do it in a later one. Does OAXRay provide live training? You guys are in the best training that they're going to offer because I am awesome at this, or at least I like to think that is. We actually are a support team for OAXRay. We provide the training. In return, we ask that if you do purchase the item, you go through our affiliate link. If not, you go through theirs. That's fine, but that's why we provide this training. Let's see what else we have. After OAXRay is done indexing, sometimes I see a green check mark, sometimes I see a gold star. What is the difference? Let me double check with Todd and Tedrick, but I believe, if I'm correct, that they have, if there's a star, it means that there is a possibility that you can do a best guess option on some of them. And at that point, you can actually go in and look at that. So it's going to tell you they've kind of found it. You can see right here I have a check mark and a star. Let me double check and clear that with them before I give you an exact answer, but that is what I believe it is. Paula asked, discounts from where? We'll go into it more in depth, but Gift Card Granny is where we're going to find our discounted gift cards at. And Cashbackaholic is where we're going to find our cashback sites. And then we're going to go into Retail Me Not to find the best coupons. So we'll be stacking those in next week's class. And I'll show you how to take advantage of them, but those are the 3 sites we're going to take advantage of. Messiah wants to... So, someone's asking, I'm wondering about using OAXRay with other tools such as Storefront Stalker. Boom. You guys are spot on there. That is taking what we're going to learn and taking it to the next level. If you guys haven't seen the Storefront Stalker, send me a private Facebook message. It's Chris Wilkey on Facebook. I'll send you Mike Garner, which is our silent guy who never talks. Took the time to talk about OAXRay and Storefront Stalker. So he goes through how he uses that. And what you can essentially do is export that list, upload it into OAXRay, run that, and get a really awesome list of your competitors' items so that you can see those, which ones are good and which ones are not. What does it mean when a sales rank, AZ Edge wants to know, what's it mean when a sales rank is 0? Do I ignore that? Not every time. It depends on what kind of item that is. And sometimes sales rank of 0 may be on a clothing, shoe, or luggage item, and it may not pull in that right one. So I don't disregard 0 sales ranks. I will do a little further investigation on those.
You've encountered a lot with,
go ahead, Tyler.
You'll encounter a lot with things like electronics, where there's this item that I discovered with OAXRay, and since last year I've sold like 700 of them, and it's a discontinued Apple item. If you only search, under a certain rank, and you wouldn't see it. And I've made a couple $1,000s off of this item.
And that's an exact point. Sometimes you look at those and it's not pulling the whole picture because these softwares are always going to be limited by the basis of what Amazon provides. So to Greg's point here, it says, how does OAXRay compare the products? They do title searches. So that's what you're looking at here. It's pulling in titles and pulling that information in and then comparing it across there. There may be products that are across Amazon that aren't actually compatible with OAXRay. It just depends on what you're searching and how you're searching it. So that is a very valid point there. Tammy wants to know if you use a CSV file with UPC title and price, will OAXRay analyze against the prices in the CSV file? Let me double check with Tedrick and Todd on that, but I believe it will if you put those prices in. Don't quote me. I've got to look at how the format is for that, but I believe the answer is yes. E. Hacken wants to know what's the name of the cashback site. We'll go into more detail next week on this, but the name of the cashback site is cashbackaholic.com. Cashbackaholic.com. Rex wants to know, does it work for books? Well, hell yeah, it works for books. We'll actually be going into that in the 3rd week with Tyler. I'm going to do a little portion on books with that, but yes, it does. It's been some new releases that OAXRay has had over the last few months, but it works great with books, used books especially. Bubba wants to know what is Storefront Stalker, not Stacker. It is a tool that some of our buddies have made that actually will pull a list of the ASINs of everybody or of a seller's items from their seller store online and give you that in an Excel format. Dave wants to know, Chris, can you talk about what they're planning to add here? They're actually, when I was talking with Tedrick this last weekend at the conference, they're hoping to add over like 300 stores in the next 6 months to a year. So it's really going to pull in a big influx of that. There's been some talks of some analytics features as well and some automation going into this, but I'm going to let Todd speak to that at the end of the week because there is a valid argument here. If 500 users are hitting the 50 stores, it's a ton of competition. What we're going to show in this course is how to pull yourself away from that competition and make money on the front end instead of on the back end. So we'll get to that, but it's a very valid point. Talk to Tedrick and talk to Todd about that. They'll give you some more information. Looks like we have a few more questions here. Carla's here. Will you show us how to find bundles via OAXRay? Bundles are not extremely easy to find using this. I actually like to use, the software I use is AMZ or Shark. You can use like Jungle Scout or any of those other tools out there to find bundles. That is not going to be a particular strength of OAXRay. I'll just be completely honest with you, Carla. Next question, do you think these webinars will create a competition? No, we've been doing promotion for OAXRay for over a year and a half now. We still make money day after day with these items, and with their influx of stores they're going to be bringing in, and with just the capacity for time of a human being, I do not think we're going to hit a max with that.
No, it's impossible.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough time in a day or enough people out there for us to actually run into a point where we hit a break even. I think that using this in 10 million different ways, Tyler can speak on in our third session when he talks about all the different ways that you could spend thousands of hours searching on eBay alone. And if you were to search through all of those and say you can't find money, Tyler would call you a liar. He's told me that before. So I think that there will be some competition in there, but it's just going to be the competition on the easy items. It's not going to be to those that actually take effort. So that's why we're hoping this. The next question is from Diana that says, what does it mean when their buy box is in the Amazon column? That means it says available sellers. So there is no current price that Amazon deems a fit price for this item. So they want you to go in and look at the other sellers on that. So that is something that is interesting, and it's a great possibility if you're able to find it at a lower price, but it is something you can look at there. Audio Squad wants to know, if OAXRay finds us good items, how should we purchase them? Well, or how many should we purchase? Very good question. I like to not go too deep. I always like to do the scale method, so I buy between 1 to 10 of those items at first. I sell those out. I look at where the rank is and where we're sitting at, the demand and the number of sellers on that, where the price is at that point. And then I go, do I want to buy 5 or 10 more, or do I want to go deep on them? At that point, when I do that analysis, that's when I make that next purchase. And then once those sell out or get close to selling out, I'll make my next decision based upon that. Jason wants to know, I had a problem during Q4 scanning calendars. They're listed on ISBN numbers, not ASAN. Does OAXRay work with ISBN numbers? I don't know that answer, Jason.
I believe it does.
Guys, because I'm not sure. Tyler, do you know that answer?
I've been able to scan books on eBay with it, and with eBay they either pull up the ISBN, the UPC, or several of the other identification numbers. That's how they pair from eBay and also Best Buy. Not that Best Buy sells books, but with eBay and Best Buy they'll pull up based upon the ISBN or the UPC.
Awesome. So we'll double check. When we bring Todd on, this will be a great question for him, but I do not know the official answer. But I'll take what Tyler says is a pretty good word on that. See, it's John, right? Wants to know how can we best take advantage of this class. The best way, in my opinion, to take advantage of this class is to listen and to do what I tell you to do, but what no one else would actually do. So if you go through it and I tell you to start looking at discount gift cards, take it one step further. Learn the methods, apply this in whatever method you are sourcing. If I tell you to buy discount gift cards, you will take that into a retail arbitrage situation. If I tell you to look at this for uploading ASIN numbers to do a search, do that with wholesale. Start pulling those information. Save your time with this information. Take the concepts, not exactly what I'm showing on the screen, but the concepts that are presented, and turn those into something that's going to make you some money down the road. That is how I best take advantage of this class. Let's see here. Does FBA Master have a more comprehensive video? We do not right now, but that may be one of the bonus things I'll add to this course for you guys. FBA Master with some AZ to AZ flips. So I will give you guys that as a bonus. Just remind me, pretty please, because I will forget. We have time for one more question. Lord, we have a ton of questions here. Use the Facebook group, guys. Start posting these. Have other people answer those in here. We're going to give one more question here from, or we'll do two more. Fractile asks, if you sell on eBay, is this a good tool to use? Tyler, can you voice your opinion on that one?
I don't sell much on eBay. But
I know you're always over there looking, though.
You could theoretically search backwards, but with looking at things on eBay and not looking for the green, but looking for the ones where it's negative, where it's more expensive on eBay as it is on Amazon. But eBay can have some stuff priced ludicrously higher than what it's really worth. I don't know what utility it would have for searching, to sell on eBay, but I think there is other software out there. I heard someone mentioning a software at the conference about sourcing on eBay. I just can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
But there's plenty of sources you do from eBay.
Yes, but practically no. We'll just say it in that fashion. And the last one is, where would I find the storefront stalker? Message me on Facebook. I'll send you a link to the video along with our affiliate link if you want to use it. If not, great. But we'll actually, if you guys want to take the rest of these questions and post them in the Facebook group, that'd be awesome.
I'll be hanging on the group. So
yeah, I've got to go take my final and get to sleep. So I do want to finish with a few things. Next week, we're going to be going into the application of actually using this. So you guys saw I pressed a button, but there's actually over 20 different ways to use OAXRay for online sourcing. This is just one of them. So next course is going to be a talk over that bit of information. Make sure you join our Facebook group. You guys should have got an email with the link to that. If not, message me on Facebook. I will send it to you. Please start exploring OAXRay. What?
Sorry, real quick. I posted a link to the Facebook group in the chat window, so everybody should have that down in the GoToMeeting screen.
Okay, awesome.
I sent it out to everybody. So go look there. Just click that link. It'll take you right to it, and then you can request to join. The other thing, too, is go in there, and that's where we'll post the link to the recording of today's call.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And then last reminder, if you guys are a part of this call, you guys are actually in a drawing for, if you attend the next 3 sessions that we have, you will actually, and if anybody missed this one, we'll give them a free pass this time. But you're in a drawing for 10 hours a week for 4 weeks of a free VA sponsored by OAXRay. So I hope you guys join that and keep coming to these courses. I hope this has been beneficial to you. I hope the conversation extends into the Facebook group and really starts providing some value for you guys. I know this is a really big price tag to join this course as free, but I hope you guys get that much and even more out of it. So I want to thank you guys for coming this evening. Thank you, Jordan and Tyler, for joining me and helping moderate everything. I really appreciate that, and I cannot wait to see the rest of you next week here for the OAXRay course brought to you by FBA Master.